Welcome to the creative process. I am Professor Anthony DePaula, and I will be working with you over the next 6 weeks in a combination of video lectures, discussion groups, weekly quizzes, and final presentations. Although this is an ARS class, this is not an art history class. It might feel like that along the way, but the art history will be used as examples to walk us through the creative process, different approaches, the goal being to equip you with the ability to see better. See better as an artist, as a scientist, someone in the medical field, or in business, whatever your major happens to be. Don't be mistaken, there are times where you will make things, but you won't be graded on your drawing skills. You will be evaluated as part of your participation grade. While you have the flexibility of viewing your lectures at your own leisure, there are several course requirements that have deadlines, and that will be described here briefly. In addition, I will walk you through the details of each requirement, the written reviews and the presentations, in two separate videos that will be found under this module for the first week, but also for the respective modules, one for the written reviews and one for the video presentations. There you will also find more information, additional information, including a rubric for what your expectations are. Please note that this is a 6-week accelerated asynchronous course that is the equivalent to a 14-week class that meets typically 90 minutes twice a week. In other words, you should expect the workload for this course to be that of a 14-week course squished into 6 weeks. So that generally means for planning, we would meet 5 times per week for the next 6 weeks, each day about 90 minutes. So you will have the flexibility to do that, to work at your own pace per week. It's important that you understand also that there will be weekly quizzes. Those weekly quizzes will encompass what was covered for that week. And those quizzes start at the beginning of the week and at the beginning of the next week. So I'm going to walk through that right now with a more clear overview, but then I'll follow up with a more detailed review of the syllabus. Final grades are broken down into these 4 primary components: class participation at 25%, quizzes 15%. Your written review is 30%, as well as the video presentation. That will also be 30%. Class participation is based on your activity in the discussion groups on Brightspace. Each discussion will begin with a prompt that directly relates to a lecture from that week. The drawings that you're going to upload into the discussion groups are left anonymous, unless you decide to write your name at the bottom and then people can see who did it. For the most part, it's there so that I know you did one of the drawings that were required. These drawings are not evaluated based on skill. It's really just an evaluation to indicate that you were engaged and followed the instructions and understood what the topic was for that day. 1 quiz per week will be available to you at the beginning of the week on Mondays, and that will stay active until the following Monday at 9 a.m. Each quiz is a response to the lectures for that week, usually about 4 lectures. My recommendation is to begin the quiz after you have reviewed all of the lectures. The final quiz will be based on the films that you have reviewed throughout the summer session. There are 4 films, and you'll have about 4 weeks to review those, 1 per week. The written review will be your first big assignment, 30% of your grade. It's only 1,000-word review where you will go to a gallery, see an exhibition, and write about what you see. There is a more detailed video. What's important for you to know at the beginning is that there is an approval of what artist you're selecting that is due by June 9th, and the review itself is due on June 16th. The final big grade for this course is 30% of your artist presentation. That is due for approval on June 9th. I also have a video review of what the requirements are, giving you more details and an in-depth overview of those requirements. Basically, it comes down to a 5-minute video presentation that is due on June 16th, and that will be done through peer evaluations in the final week that everyone will see the other videos from the other students. Now that you have a general overview of the key elements for this class, I'm going to run very briefly through the syllabus that you can take some more time on your own to look more closely at. This is an ARS course, as you know, titled The Creative Process. Asynchronous, so you will be able to work at your own pace where you would like to, based in weekly segments. I am available through Zoom meetings if you're interested or need to discuss something. That's absolutely possible. What is also more common is correspondence through email. When you do send an email, please include the course code in the subject line. Here's a basic review of what we just discussed in terms of the assessment, what you'll be graded on. I think the calendar is the most important part of the syllabus that really breaks down what your expectations are. And it's also broken down into these weekly segments, so you can see that what's in Brightspace and available to you in Brightspace is indicated in week 1. I break this down as if you were in a 90-minute lecture 5 times per week. The calendar is very much set up, at least in the first half of the course, through a chronologic art history. That also will indicate there are specific artists that have films about them that you're going to be asked to review. I just mentioned that a moment ago. You'll be quizzed on those in the 5th week. In the 2nd week, you'll have a look at Frida, Pollock in the 3rd week, and then in the 4th week, it will be a film titled Basquiat and Exit Through the Gift Shop. All of those films correspond directly to what the lectures are from that week. The calendar will also highlight that you will have 5 quizzes, and as I've indicated in this calendar, it's recommended that you wait until the very end of the week and have reviewed all of the lectures before completing those quizzes. On Saturday, June 7th, there is an opportunity to meet in Chelsea and review galleries, basically go gallery hopping. And I'm there to do that with you. It's an opportunity that we can meet, and it'll give you an opportunity to meet the other students in the class. It's not mandatory. It's an opportunity right before the approval due date, artist and exhibition you have selected for the written review, in addition to the artist you have selected for the presentation. Please keep in mind that the artist you write about for the written review cannot be the same artist that you are presenting in your video presentation. The actual written review must be uploaded into assignments on Brightspace by June 16th, and a link, specifically a link, not an MP4, a link to YouTube or Canva, whatever you're using. That will be uploaded to assignments by June 23rd. Quizzes, I've already discussed briefly, are available to you from Monday through Monday and are related specifically to the lectures for that week. The written review and the artist presentation, those will be discussed in separate videos, separate lectures that will be available for you to get more information and more details. Class participation has already been discussed. As you know, there are 25 points, basically receiving 1 point per lecture, per prompt, per discussion through discussions in Brightspace. Attendance, this is an asynchronous class, so you have a lot of flexibility. This should not be a problem, but please let me know if there is. And as I mentioned earlier, in terms of quizzes, there are no exceptions to taking something over or redoing it, or if it's late, or if you forget, whatever the case may be. And finally, here are some general guidelines to be aware of for the course, for your assistants, to support you through completion of this course. I'm looking forward to working with all of you through this asynchronous summer session.